In the heart of a forgotten village, overshadowed by the dense forest, stood Wraithmore Manor, a decrepit structure whispered about in hushed tones by locals. Once a grand estate, it now lay in shambles, a relic of a bygone era, its stories seeping through its cracked walls and overgrown gardens. The village elders spoke of the manor's last known resident, Lady Eleanor Wraithmore, a figure shrouded in mystery and tragedy. It was rumored that on nights when the fog rolled in thick, one could hear the eerie sound of a violin emanating from the manor, playing a melancholy tune that chilled the soul. Driven by a mix of fear and fascination, a group of friends decided to unveil the truth behind these tales. The leader, Emily, a young woman with a penchant for the supernatural, rallied her friends, including skeptical Tom, inquisitive Sarah, and the easily frightened Lucas, for a night exploration of the manor. As they crossed the threshold, a sense of unease enveloped them, the air stale and heavy. The grand foyer, with its shattered chandelier and family portraits, with eyes that seemed to follow, was just the beginning of their journey into the unknown. The friends, armed with flashlights, ventured deeper into the manor. The walls echoed their footsteps, almost as if the house itself was listening. In the grand ballroom, dust-covered furniture and torn drapes painted a picture of decayed grandeur. It was in the library, however, where the first true chill ran down their spines. Shelves of books, their pages yellow-eyed with age, surrounded them. Suddenly, a book fell to the floor with a thud, its pages fluttering open to reveal a diary. Lady Eleanor's diary. The writings spoke of loneliness, sorrow, and an ominous presence that haunted her. As night deepened, so did their sense of foreboding. The distant sound of a violin began to fill the halls, its source unseen. The melody was haunting, filled with such despair that it seemed to seep into their very bones. Their exploration led them to a hidden room behind a bookshelf. Inside, the air was colder, the atmosphere heavier. Portraits of the Wraithmore family lined the walls, their expressions twisted in silent screams. In the center of the room stood a violin, its strings vibrating as if recently played. Panic set in when they realized the manor was no longer dormant. Doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. The sound of footsteps echoed from the floor above, yet they knew they were alone. Whispers filled the air, unintelligible, yet unmistakably menacing. As they navigated the labyrinthine corridors, seeking an escape, the manor seemed to warp around them. Staircases led to nowhere, hallways twisted into impossible angles, and windows revealed only impenetrable darkness. In the midst of their escape, a piercing scream echoed through the halls. Sarah had vanished, taken by the shadows. Frantic, they searched, only to find themselves lost in an ever-changing maze of horror. Eventually, they found themselves in the attic, where the true heart of the manor's sorrow lay bare. There, amidst relics of the past, they found a painting of Lady Eleanor, her eyes filled with an eternal sadness that pierced their souls. With dawn approaching, the manor began to settle, its malevolent presence receding. They found their way out, but the experience left them forever changed. Sarah was never seen again, her fate intertwined with the manor's cursed legacy. The friends parted ways, each carrying the burden of that night. Emily, once a seeker of the supernatural, now shunned it, haunted by the whispers in the walls of Wraithmore Manor. As the years passed, the manor continued to stand, a silent sentinel in the village, its stories and spirits lurking within, waiting for the next curious soul to uncover its dark past.